Hi, my name is Muhammad Azrai bin Rashidan from Bachelor in Graphic Design. I want to present Symbolic Interaction Theory. Okay, the theory of symbolic interaction is said to be the idea triggered by some fields such as George Herbert Mead, Charles Coley, with Thomas, Living of Man and Herb Rumor, who are students of Mead who continue to detail Mead. Touch on symbolic interaction, but the main figure who laid the foundation of this theory was George Herbert Mead. Mead is interested in studying social interaction because what is seen from interaction, for example, from two or more individuals, has the potential to produce symbol and meaning. For him, one behavior can be influenced by the symbol issued by other and vice versa. The result of the signal given in the form of individual symbol will express feeling, thought and meaning. For example, by reading symbol displayed by other, directly study and analyze thought interaction with individual or other. According to experts of the symbolic interaction perspective as well, an individual will interact using symbols that have sign, gesture and word. According to Mead, the theory is very important in social interaction because according to him, the meaning of the use of symbol does not come from a solitary mental process but come from interaction. Two humans will learn symbol and meaning in social interaction.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ridwan and I'm gonna continue on symbolic interaction theory. So here we go. So what I'm gonna talk about here is about history of symbolic interaction theory. So the first person to write about this symbolic interaction theory was George Herbert Mead in 1934. Mead, an American philosopher, argued that people develop their self-image through interaction with other people. In particular, Mead concerned that language and other forms of thought that happen between individuals. The self, part of someone's personality, involved in self-awareness and self-image, originated in social experiment. And after that, Charles Halton Coley used the term looking glass self to convey the idea that person's knowledge of their self-concept is largely determined by reaction of others around them. Other people thus act like a looking glass so that we can judge ourselves by looking in it. An individual can respond to others about himself and internalize the opinion and feeling that others have about him. Beginning in 1960s, psychologists that adopted Mead's idea. Scholars' interest in interaction have often reflected upon the debate about the origin, evolution, and the future direction of the perspective. For instance, in the late 1970s, McPhail and Redsword crafted the influential and controversial assessment of Herbert Blomberg's role in translating George Herbert Mead into psychology. In related vein, Lewis and Smith proposed that link between pragmatist philosophy, mid-social behavior, and symbolic interaction perspectives were less direct than Blomberg's claim. In 1993, examining the shift that took place in symbolic interaction from the 1970s to 1990s highlight the process that led to this change. And finally, Minus in 2001 is critical analysis of the relationship between interaction and mainstream psychology, highlighting how societies are often unaware of interaction contribution to social theory. So that's all for me, and I'm gonna pass it to my other friends, and thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Abu Ahnaf bin Abu Qasim. Today I want to present about assumption in symbolic interaction theory. Okay. Introduction. Most symbolic interactionists believe in physical reality does indeed exist by an individual's social definition, and that social definition do develop in part on relation to something real. People thus do not respond to this reality directly, but rather to the social understanding of reality. They respond to this reality indirectly through a kind of filter which consists of individuals' different perspectives. This means that humans exist not in the physical space composed of realities, but in the world composed only of objects. Okay, these have three assumptions from symbolic interaction. First, individuals construct meaning via the communication. Second, self-concept is a motivation for behavior. And the last, third, a unique relationship exists between the individual and society. Okay, next.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ikhwan. Now I will explain about important keyword, concept and framework. Symbolic interactionism is a social theoretical framework associated with George Herbert Mead and Max Weber. It is a perspective that sees society as the product of shared symbols, such as language. The social world is therefore constructed by the meaning that individuals attach to event and social interaction, and these symbols are transmitted across the generation through a language. A central concept of symbol interaction is the self, which allows us to calculate the effect of our action. Symbolic interactionism theory has been criticized because it ignores the emotional side of the self and as the basic of social interaction. Concept and framework. The symbolic interactionism hypothesis claim that individuals respond to component of their environment based on the subject meaning they assign to them, such as meaning that are formed and modified through social interaction, through symbolic communication with others. Symbolic interactionism is a sociological theoretical framework that analyzes how societies are formed and sustained via people repeat activity.
Hello, Miss and everyone. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my part. I will continue after my friend. Symbolic interaction theory. Symbolic interaction is one of the several theories in the social science. According to this theory, people live both in the natural and symbolic environment. They can live in the both ways. Symbolic interaction is a process that is enlived the reciprocal meaning and values by the aid of the symbolic in the mind. Then critique and discussion. Symbolic interaction are often criticized for being overly impressionistic in their research methods and somewhat unsystematic in their theories. It is argued that the theory is not one theory but rather the framework for many different theories around. Then the discuss symbolic interaction is a micro level theory that focus on the relationship among individuals within a society. Social science who apply symbolic interactionist thinking look for patterns of interaction between individuals. Their studies often involve observation of one-on-one interaction. Then here is the conclusion. The symbolic interactionism can serve as a theoretical perspective for conceptually clear and soundly implemented multiple method research that will explain the understanding of human health and behavior. Here we come with the question and answer session. You can answer my question down below in the chat box. My first question is, the three principles of symbolic interactionisms are. You need to write down 3 points. What are those? Then the next question is, what are the 5 sociological theories? You can type in the chat box and I will answer as well. That's all. Thank you, miss, and thank you everyone.